Hey everybody, Dr. Ray, and today I want to talk about boosting engagement and revenue in companies using games and gamification. We're going to talk about getting the game culture, talk about all the different aspects of gamification, and talk about some different examples of ways that companies have been using gamification to expand their business. You ready? All right, so the gaming life. Gaming is a lifestyle. It's a culture. It's a community. Gaming is a part of all of us. Whether we realize it or not, gaming is in everything we do in life. You play the stock market, that's a type of a game. You're on social media, so many different gamification elements. Tons of stuff is game elements or video games, or in some way gamified. Whether you realize it or not, you've been involved in it. A lot of people, when I start talking about video games, this is what they think of. They think of like Call of Duty, these war games. They think of like, are you addicted to video games? They're thinking of saying like, video games destroyed the earth, no. Or they're talking about like, they think of like Chutes and Ladders, like some kind of board game, you know, that kind of thing. But when I talk about video games, some people think of like the largest esports competitions where we have millions of people watching and we're packing stadiums like this to watch people play games. So the first thing I just want to go over really quick is that, so these are some recent Twitch stats. If you're not familiar with Twitch is, it's where people stream video games. And it really started to become popular in 2014. It was switched from Justin TV to Twitch, and it's basically the ESPN is to sports as Twitch is to video games. But you can see the viewership numbers in this August. So I'm in September of 2021. So if you're watching this in 2 years, it'll be a little different. But I'm in September of 2021, just last month. Almost 2 billion hours watched on Twitch. 2 billion hours watched on Twitch. Kind of crazy. The video game industry is a $180 billion industry. It's bigger than music and movies combined. Literally bigger than music and movies combined. You can see some of these other stats here on the screen. But the streaming platforms where video games are streamed, like Twitch or YouTube, each have more subscribers than Netflix, Spotify, and HBO. Think about that. That's the size we are talking about. So this is a very large community. What does the research show? The research shows that games can increase engagement. Gamification can increase retention, increase motivation, increase satisfaction and happiness and stuff like that. They can also lead to inclusion. People who are not a part of a community can all of a sudden have their own community or now have something to relate to people about. So that's really quick what the research shows. But the important thing here is, what I've done is I've broken it down. There are 3 different ways, or what I call 3 levels, that companies can incorporate games into their strategy. 3 different levels, 3 ways. You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. So the first one, enhancing and interacting with content. So this is getting people to interact with whatever content you have. So this is the first strategy. This is really like a gamification. The definition of gamification is adding game elements to somewhere that games don't apply to or don't exist. So there are examples. All of the things in red that you see on the screen are examples, like badges, rewards, points, avatars, gratification, contests, story, and time schedule. So badges. We're talking about like, you wear your Apple Watch or your Garmin watch or your Fitbit. You get a badge, or you do something on like a certain website, you get a badge or reward for doing it. Different types of rewards. We got credit card. You got credit cards. You're trying to get those rewards on your credit card. You're playing a game. You got gas points from going grocery shopping and stuff. Yeah, you're involved in gaming in some ways. You're getting those karma points on Reddit. You got a social media profile trying to get likes, followers, shares on social media. Different kind of contests, like you play the lottery. Yeah, that's a game. Creating stories around brands for recognition. And then we're like, even time schedule stuff. Like Apple now tells you how much screen time you've had I'm trying to beat my screen time, how much screen time I had each week. I'm trying to do less, not more. Some people may be trying to do more. I'm trying to do less. So here are just some pictures. So we got Robinhood having like confetti when you buy a stock. Yeah, that's a gamification element. They actually got in trouble for that recently. I got an example of a badge here. We've got a Facebook like. I got the girl standing there with the phone showing, she's trying to get any influencer, anyone posting something to social media is looking for likes, comments, people reaction. Even the picture that I have here with the progressive lady, Flo, shows they created a story, a person, a character out of their brand that has nothing to do with the character, but they created it in their commercials. That's a gamified element. How interesting is that? All right, level 2. So level 1 was incorporating game elements into your brand or company. Level 2 is incorporating commercial games, things that are already created into your company. And okay, so you've all played McDonald's Monopoly. Whether you eat fast food or not, you've played McDonald's. I mean, when I was a kid, that was like the best thing ever. I know they were like cheating and they got a Netflix documentary about that now. McDonald's Monopoly, we all played it. America's Army, a game the military is using to recruit people. Different Minecraft contests, like you see this like Toyota contest here on the screen, the picture that I have, like creating something in Minecraft. Domino's Pizza created this great like contest to see who can create the best pizza. Like how cool is that? And then even like not just talking about physical stuff, like Lego has like all kinds of contests all the time, like build the coolest thing in Lego, and we will potentially market it and actually make it a product. Those are taking commercial products or games and incorporating them into your business strategy. All right. And here's another example. This is a famous YouTuber, Mr. Beast. Kids watch it. My kids watch him. He created this island right here in Minecraft and gave everyone a plot of land and said, I'm going to give whoever creates the coolest plot of land will get $50,000. So you got all kinds of game elements like that. He's created a game within a game. All right, and the next thing, the level 3. So remember, level 1 was incorporating game elements into your product or brand. Level 2 was using commercial games or creating a game to incorporate into your brand. Level 3 is actually putting your brand into games or into sponsorships through esports teams, competitions, games themselves, or the streamers. If you're not familiar what esports are, you're watching my channel, you probably are. But anyway, if you're not, esports are competitive video games. People playing games in professional teams, making significant amount of money playing together. Literally a multi-billion-dollar industry. Sponsors for esports include Nike, Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, the Army. We got all kinds. Lots of people sponsoring it. So here are some examples of brands advertising in games or within esports. We got on top of the screen, we got Intel advertising. We got Snickers. These are advertising during competitions, as events. They're sponsors. They're advertising their brand. On the bottom part of the screen, we have companies like M&M's advertising in game on a billboard in a video game. They paid to have that there. So these are different ways. Here's another picture. This is Mountain Dew sponsoring a PUBG tournament. These are things that are happening. This is how companies are getting themselves involved in gaming, gamification, and esports, creating that brand awareness. Here's another example. Honda, who's a sponsor of Team Liquid, which is a professional esports team. Here's a picture of Mercedes their car is at an esports event. So you can just see all these cool different ways that brands are doing this. So the question is, what makes sense for your brand? What do you want to do? These are the different ways that companies are doing it. These are the different types of ways that you could, is your goal to increase engagement? Is your goal to increase, a certain demographic of people? What is your goal? What is your product? And then let's talk about all these different ways. Well, what makes most sense for your product? What makes most sense for what you're doing? All right. I know that was short. Was designed to be short and sweet. This was a presentation I did for a conference that was only geared to be about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can see I did it in time. So that's why it's short. But yeah, you have any questions, you want to talk more about this, just let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. I see all that game stuff. Yeah, do all that stuff. Later, all have a great day.